roam mid, and then suddenly you're up to play a Faramis. You have to play really well with a Minotaur and its entries, and Haji did just that.
Yep.
And shout out to Perks as well, who timed the flicker forwards with his ultimates, with his Minoan Fury, really dang good as well.
Yeah, a lot of times earlier, Blacklist International's capability to just go in and commit whenever they were decisive enough to do so was just terrifying. They had a lot of ultimates that could complement that idea really well. So...
Whoa, what? We're already in the draft?
Are we?
Is that right? No. We're not yet.
We're still banning.
That's correct. Okay.
Are we?
So Blacklist International is on the red side. First pick right now is TNC Pro Team. TNC banned out, as we saw, Ling and Roger and the High Loss. This is what we were talking about. Edith will be open for TNC Pro Team blue side. Blacklist International banned Chip, Hayabusa, and Jushin on the red side. So we're still waiting for the first pick of TNC Pro Team, which I still really feel like should be an Edith.
Yep, there was huge respect coming from TNC right now towards the High Loss. They wouldn't want to let it pass anymore. Will they be picking up the Edith though, or something different, such as the oh no, the Roger's already out as well. So they picked a Nolan. Was that the Nolan?
Is that a Nolan Rush blue side first pick?
Was it?
Do they really just don't want to give that to MP?
Oh, they did. They prioritized the Nolan. Well, I'd say Kaizen's performance on the Nolan was really
yeah, but then
well,
they could go Minotaur again, Ruby again.
There'll be too much potential counters here if Blacklist International were to get their hands again. And if they will be sticking with that similar to the Ube kind of idea that they'd be picking up the Faramis eventually later on or something along those lines. But the Zask as well is still open. That's one. If ever. Or even the Aurora if they want to change things up a bit. But the Edith could potentially get into the hands of Blacklist International now.
Yeah, exactly. This is why I really thought that TNC would rush that instead. And now they get two power picks. They get the Edith and the Harith.
Oh no.
So TNC, what they got was the most efficient jungler in the game right now, walking into today with around a 64%, 62% win rate. But then you trade off for an Edith and a Harith, that's not worth it. Unless they go ahead and pick up either no, they have to pick up the Ruby now.
Yeah.
Get the Ruby for Escalera again, and then go for it to Rizla. But then you're going to be lacking because you're up against an Edith in terms of the magic damage department, so they might even swerve and go Phoveus.
Yeah, they'll be revealing too much of their lineup as well, but I heard that there is Rizla, and they take the Faramis for themselves. So will Blacklist International respond to the Valentina similar to what we've seen in game number 1? But if so,
just go Valen.
Then this will be a really scary game for TNC Pro Team.
Yeah, if they go Valentina here, the problem is they're overloaded with magic damage that allows them to potentially take control of the early game, but they won't have the they could potentially take control of the early game.
Against TNC Pro Team.
Against TNC Pro Team.
And TNC Pro Team wouldn't want that because they're really trying to address their mid-game management.
Oh,
but then,
there it is.
Instead of the Valentina, I think Leo's really happy right now. He's rejoicing. I don't know, what do you call that move, that action?
He's pumping his arms.
He's pumping his arms. Oh, okay. He's screaming.
Yeah, so they pick up the Bane. I thought they'd actually pick this later into the draft, maybe second phase, but they said, no, let's not screw around. Let's just go ahead and pick up the Bane already. It's the perfect pickup. You're up against a Nolan. You didn't need to play into Assassins. TNC Pro Team, hopefully they know, or they should have known that the Bane was going to come up here as the best pick right now into the third slot.
Wait. Okay, but now I'm thinking, wouldn't TNC this time want to pick up the Lolita for themselves? Because you can potentially
send back the Sharks,
send back the Sharks, and also somewhat protect your teammates from both the Edith and some of those skills or damages that could be thrown out here by Oheb.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know I'm a Lolita guy, so you go Lolita.
Yeah. It's still open. It's
no!
No, wait, what?
No!
Wait, did they ban it themselves?
No, they took it.
Oh, wait, they did?
Blacklist took the Lolita.
Oh, okay.
They stole it.
Oh, no. So now, Wait. Okay. So Blacklist took the Lolita.
Yes.
And TNC sticks with the Melissa.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is a very brave choice, because I made a big deal earlier about how Blacklist International could have won the game faster against the Melissa in game 1. It was a Lolita.
Oh, how do TNC
Dude, they have-
respond to this?
Just go pick the Grok already, even though it's already going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, Grok likes or would not want magic
Or
damage
Kaja?
rather
I don't
than
know.
physical damage, but the lockdown.
Oh, it is Kaja.
Okay, they go for the lockdown. They just gotta capture Ohib perhaps, or
Yeah.
just take one out for
Vexana.
Blacklist International. So
Just go Vex.
okay. So what are the options here? The Valentina? No more Valentina. But the
Huh.
Vexana, the Aurora,
Vex or Aurora,
the
I
Zask
like.
even still open.
Iffy on the
So
Zask.
if-
Oh,
even-
Lilia would be
I mean,
good.
yeah, you'd want to create space for
Lilia.
Ohib. That's one.
Lilia would be perfect.
But the Numenon Blast could already do a good job in terms of
Yeah.
that. So you could just like pair it up with something else that could make a lot more space for Ohib. That's terrifying. You
Quick
also
say,
create space for
Lilia,
MP.
Vex or Aurora. I go Lilia.
Oh wait, that's some.
Oh,
Oh,
Chloe,
what?
okay. That's also perfect.
Yeah, that's not just space. That's literally the entire map that you could control if you had the Louis in your hands. So now there are a lot more surprises that could come out from Blacklist International TNC Pro Team. They really have to pull off the early game this time.
TNC is very objective fight-based, while Blacklist International might actually win this with just sheer macro and push.
Oh,
Might be
no.
really tough to actually even get a good position around the maybe third turtle or second turtle onwards, because Blacklist are just going to be splitting the map, Brigida.
This is already match point for Blacklist International, and they decide to show us some interesting pickups here, such as the Bane and the Lolita. Yes, that's one thing we've been talking about since game number 1, but also the Lu Yi. And now to see how this will be panning out for both these teams once again, let's head into the game and let's throw it over to our casters.
You don't know how I feel about the Bane, but Joseph, I gotta check in with
Welcome
you.
to
How the
Mobile
draft
Legends.
looking? What kind of gameplay can we expect in this game too?
I think Redmar put it well. I think Blacklist lineup, they're just gonna, sheer macro push, go for it. And on the flip side, TNC's got to be a little more meticulous. They got to be a little more calculated, I would say. And I want to ask you, man, how do you feel about the Bane? I feel like MP the King's probably one of the few players that does have it and brings it out to play.
Yeah, in addition to me, it's just him and me in the MPL right now. But no, again, I'm on cloud 9. I'm happy to see heroes like Bane break it through, because right now
I know how you feel, by the way.
there is a triangle of power within the jungle, right?
Yeah.
Nolan, Ling,
Hayabusa.
Fanny. Hayabusa kind of like A minus, you know?
Yeah.
So with Bane coming in, it's obvious that Blacklist have something cooking. Like it's an alternate theory to affect the metagame. But look at this. Wait, this is dangerous.
Whoa,
What?
already? Whoa, MP the King. I'm so sorry, man. There goes the Bane.
No, that's one of the main weaknesses of a Bane, right?
Early game.
He put himself in a position where he could not get out. He's so immobile.
You don't got the sharks yet.
Well, I'm not so sure how that rotation happened without perks.
Yeah.
Or even without... Yeah, no, I don't think Oheb could have done anything to save him. So yeah, MP's just high off of the action and the win from game 1, I guess.
Yeah, so he's got to kind of... He needs to calculate himself after that first blood already, because obviously that is going to play a part in the first objective, the first turtle, when it does come up. He's going to be down a little bit. But one of the great things about Bane, the pick there, is that I would say relatively you farm up at a pretty good pace.
Yeah.
And then, of course, again, your ultimate is a crucial part of these objective takes. Now, the first turtle is a wash. It's going to be taken for TNC
For sure.
because of what just happened. But so TNC, very similar to what we saw in the previous game, they're going to get control of the early game. And Blacklist knows this. Again, if they kind of slow things down, hold on, Haji, going to visit up top with a diversion. This time around, they're going to be able to find Escalera flickers out defensively. So no pickup. But that's the change. I was going to say, Blacklist, they can slow things down like they did previously and then flip the switch. But
Which-
with a Louis Yi.
I think they should do. Given what happened, first blood on their jungler,
Yeah.
and the first turtle going over to TNC, they should slow the game down to the point where they're clearly in control, and wherein these full-on diversions out of nowhere are lethal. Because you saw there in that approach, in that attempt up top, they were short on damage and range. If somebody flickers away and somebody dashes away, look at this lineup. Very few of them can actually close the gap.
Yeah.
Very few of them can actually deal the kind of damage that you want at that range.
You're oh, okay, hold on. Perks gonna get dragged and pulled. Flickers out himself. I'm actually surprised he was able to stay alive so far through that. Kazin now, eyes here, penalty zone, gonna be able to find MP the King. He can't escape. Gets crashed down on. Haji though will get some payback as he picks up a kill, at least on the board.
That was a jungler for a jungler trade, and that will still put TNC up. And what matters here is the tempo, because as long as TNC can go faster and faster and faster, Blacklist can't reach the point of critical mass wherein, much like in game one, they're all kitted out, and they can just brute force their way through a win.
So as someone who is an expert with the Bane,
I would say Bane connoisseur.
Bane connoisseur,
Yes.
my map, Bane
Continue.
connoisseur. When you have this kind of a start, how do you make sure that you are still valuable to the team in this lineup?
Oh, you just accept the fact that you're going to be farming for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And right now, I think that's what MP the King is getting to. He's on his way to his War Axe, which now he built up. At about 4 minutes, maybe that's slightly behind. 2 kills, 2 deaths in. I think with the way the map looks like right now, they can contest.
Here it is, deadliest catch, quite deadly. Able to find a pick off of heads too, starting up. Kazin now joining the fight. They want to battle for the objective. Going to come in. Kazin sweeps on in, retrieves the turtle away. So they're not going to be able to get that, but Blacklist does find a kill amongst it all.
He is down a level, so that does allow for Kazin to just burst in. Lord JM!
Lord JM in trouble. Blacklist trying to make a play up top against Kozin. They won't find it. So TNC still able to find a positive plus the objective.
Oh, look at this, a steal!
Oh,
Kazin does get it! They're starving MP!
So this is the thing, you know, you play around the fact that, hey, you guys do have a diversion, but if it's not successful, there's a clear lack of bodies on the side of the map, especially with how many they send up top.
Yep, again, even if you do leave one out, it's still an inefficient way. Approach is very low.
Again. Diversion going to be used again. Flicker out to survive. Oheb's fine. Haji will pick up 2 kills, but MP the King will strike him too. Kazin comes on in and finds an assassination. TNC losing 3 members. There's the flicker. There's the Numeral Blast. They get the stun off. Kazin trying to get out of the jungle, trying to get out of the danger zone. In between the 2 turrets he goes. How far can Kazin escape? Heads just around the corner. They go in, he bobs, he weaves, but he gets tossed up. A huge penalty zone, but it's all heads until Lancey gets there in time. Flickers forward, gets the pull off. We'll be able to find Perks as well before heads goes down.
That's an expensive escort mission that Heads put himself on to try and protect Kazin. But it was close. I think Kazin was maybe a dash or 2 away from actually getting away with it scot-free, surviving. But now Escalera spots Oheb, which, by the way, this whole sequence started up here. He started with Oheb with a rope-a-dope, and now they're going to try to punish Escalera. And now that weakness rears its ugly head, their lack of range.
Yep.
Escalera did not need to flicker away, by the way. He just dashed out.
He just dashed out. And that's what you're talking about, the range here. Oheb taking some damage. Has to back off. Perks there now to help him out. How many times have we seen that choreography here up top? You know, the diversion used into the bush.
3rd time this game.
3rd time?
3rd time in 6 minutes.
Oh, man.
So, best believe as long as this turret stands, Blacklist has all the incentive to try it again and again and again. And let's see, one more ballista hit. And, okay, so they have room to do it. But because of that, a push by TNC in mid. That's a main artery. Wow, I think this is a green light for MP to actually, I was going to say ramp up the farm, but
He's doing pretty good.
yeah, all throughout that, he was able to stay in touch with Kazin's gold lead. No, checks out. Oh!
For the 4th time, Numeral Blast going to find the mark here. Still fighting it out, though. TNC going to lose Kozin. Oheb gets a kill. Kazin on the backside. Looking for Haji off of it. Lancey still fine. There's the burst damage. Can he pick up the kill? Haji still alive for now. He won't go down somehow. Oheb does fall as well. Now Heads on the hunt for Lord JM here.
Haji
trying to tank it all with that body of Smith. But does he have enough damage? Escalera there using the conceal. And he pops off the rings here. Lord JM is still alive.
Not just Lord JM, but even Haji. Folks, this exactly is the reason why they call him the KDA machine. His numbers are always through the roof. 5-0 and 3. Joseph, 5-0 and 3 at 8 minutes.
Yeah, he's been a staple so far for the lineup Blacklist International. It's great to see him back in this position.
Total of 8, by the way.
That's a lot.
When you calculate for KDA, you just add your assists and your kills divided by your deaths, and spotless so far. The young Salik Imam Haji, the captain of Blacklist International. Looking at TNC, though, given how on a micro scale Blacklist are doing well to recover, TNC are still in control. All Tier 1 turrets pushed in.
Yep.
TNC about 1,500 gold ahead for the first time in a while. MPL able to taste his buffs. Because Kaizen has been crossing the river, man.
Yes.
Kaizen has been living in MP the King's jungle. And I'll tell you now, as a Bane, you always need to be hyper farming. Best case scenario, you're taking your opponent's jungle. Here, he's barely touching his own.
Oh.
Wait, whoa.
All right, Lord
All
James
right.
going to be fine.
Diversion. Ooh. That's a
good displacement here, of course.
that's a long lizard bush.
Long lizard, little push up top. Of course, coming out from Kaizen, and now they're going to force the fight. Heads will flicker around. Zalman Force drop down 2. Lancey pulls 2. They get the
Blast!
round. They get the Noon Run Blast down. There's the deadliest catch as well. They're trying to focus down Escalera. They'll finally get him, but Kozen fires back, gets the double. It's Lord JM on the run, and they have to back off. Now TNC with control of the Lord.
That's a bad trade. They bought high, sold low. 2 for 1. Now Haji sending him back right in the bush.
Oh, Kaizen will get the Lord, though, and now still for the fight. Kozen goes down. Oheb picks up a double. Him and Haji keeping them together. Head still on the run. Tanky enough.
MV2 strikes again. They turned something worse to bad. Again, it was still a bad trade. We don't take that away from TNC. But Blacklist able to take Kozen and Kaizen out on the way through. Now they have to accept the fact that they have to defend against the Lord. Joseph, again, this is something that showed itself in the first minute, second minute. MP the King is going to have to sacrifice himself a lot of times.
Yeah.
He's a hero with a lot of burst damage, a lot of consistent CC, but he has to put himself in harm's way. Check out our stat on the Filipino sniper who's locked in on turrets. He's second in all-time turret damage with 3.26 million turret damage dealt in his career in MPL, which started in Season 7.
That's a whole lot of turret damage, you know, for Oheb. And at this point, too, I think he's going to be a pinnacle part for them to go ahead and get this defense. Escalera flickers in, gets his Divine Judgment off, but a whole lot of AoEs thrown at him, cutting him off from the push. Numinum Blast, Deadliest Catch, everything thrown.
Was that or was that not a Divine Judgment on the almost perfect target? Was that an Oheb? It wasn't, right? Because Oheb was like down to a third,
Yeah.
and then he just dropped the Z-Force. Oh,
And
wait, what is this? What is this shocking rotation?
All right, I guess they're just taking a visit, see
All
what
right,
they can see.
Just checking. All right, so back to what could have been a devastating approach by TNC. They could have not just killed Oheb.
Yeah.
They could have popped that turret, and they could have won maybe 2 or 3 kills. Even on a trade, that would have been amazing. But Blacklist defended very well. Kudos to Black.
That's what I mean. Like their front, like throw of utility and damage, like you mentioned, Deadliest Catch. Bane himself is like, you got a lot of damage, just throw it out. You know, throw the Deadliest Catch there, and that's something that always stops any lineup in their tracks with this lineup.
For sure, especially since TNC only really have one peeler, one front liner that can actually take it, it being heads.
Think if you're Escalera here, man. If you're a Kaja going into the face of that,
Dude,
I'm close my eyes and hope.
a stray crab claw cannon can kill a random, non-XP or roamer at half health. Like that happens, especially with the kit that MP is building. I think last time we checked in, he was on his way to a brute force breastplate.
Yep.
I wonder what he's at now. I'm guessing maybe a bladed spear, or malefic roar. There's no need to malefic roar. Like none of these heroes build armor.
Yeah, and Haji just recently, you can see he picked the Divine Glaive. Oheb now has the Holy Crystal. So in terms of damage, Blacklist is there. Like they're online, they're ready to fight. And so that's why I'm saying, like the challenge here is for TNC to make those adjustments and pick those fights in the best way possible, which is, again, if Escalera, hold on, go away already going to be used. Look at the damage coming out. Deadliest Catch into the Num Blast. Going to force Lancey back. He's trying to get away, trying to peel them off the team. He's going to collapse down. Oheb picks up a kill. Meanwhile, this whole time, Kaizen with the Lord secures it in.
All right.
Diversion.
Whoa,
Gonna
whoa, whoa.
use.
They find him!
Fight heads, toss them up. Into the Deadliest Catch again. They pick up a kill.
Heads is rolling, and they're not done.
Kozen
Kozen
on
gets
the
it.
run. could not get away. And they turned the switch now on Lancey. I set on him. They'll get a double for Oheb. Now Blacklist looks to run it down mid.
That was Lance after he revived. He got the Faramis stacks, came back in, ran his way back into the fight, and still fell. Now, the Lord just spawns from TNC right underneath their base, right underneath their turret. Escalera!
Escalera trying to buy time. Kaizen does get back. Immortality into the flicker. Trying to clear out the lanes, and Lancey's back up as well. Heads here to TNC. Just barely saves himself from getting swept.
All right, all this while, Kaizen stole away the purple from Black, and the pendulum swung. Blacklist now about 1,000 gold ahead at 13 and 45. They send themselves up top, try to clean up the waves, and we're close to deadlock. There's still a lot of turrets standing for TNC,
Yeah.
but just leave Oheb, let's leave MP the King, give him like 10 seconds each in a free lane. It should equalize.
it still amazes me how this happens to TNC in almost every series. You know, they have such good control early, mid, even this one, but then something happens here.
It's a snap.
Yeah.
Somewhere, somehow, because again, Blacklist now have reached or are approaching critical mass on their damage. Now the diversion, all right, long bush up top. I checked in on MP the King, built Endless Battle,
Yeah.
and Malefic Roar.
Malefic Roar.
My guess is he built the next best thing to Bladed Spare, because prior to that whole sequence, right? Prior to the whole sequence, he was in his poverty era. He wasn't exactly doing the best job as a main.
Yeah.
Just recently did he get a KDA of 4, 4, and 9.
And that's why the thing, like, you mentioned this really on point. All he has to do now, or even then, was throw out a deadliest catch.
Or
Like,
even a random crab claw cannon. Just
random cannon.
Just boom.
And that's good enough because of that frontal threat that this lineup has here for Blacklist.
And much.
Oh!
What? What? Diversion play!
Diversion 2, penalty zone gonna collapse down. Netherrealm brought down. Oheb finally taken care of. Out of the picture here.
Heads!
Trying to run heads. Body of Smith not gonna
Goes
be enough to keep him alive. And now Escalera in trouble as well, trying to flap back to base. But here's MP the King as he gets a double.
It's over!
Lancey left to his
It's
wins,
over, Joseph!
but he's get taken out. And Blacklist, with a decisive win, will take the series in a sweep.
Call it a blackout diversion. Blink and you miss it. Blacklist score their first win in Season 14, a sweep against TNC.
Time and time again, diversion after diversion used. The KDA machine, he knew. They knew where to collapse down.